What's going on? How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great. What's up, man? How you
Hey,
been?
that's fantastic. It's always great to hear when people are doing great. That makes me feel even better.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Yeah.
So I'm just getting ready to drink my morning cup of coffee. I showed you a picture of my coffee machine right before the stream, so I'm excited
Yeah.
to enjoy my sip.
Yeah, we're in very different time zones. So for me it's like toward the end of the night and you're just starting your day, but I think that you know what? I think that adds to the podcast a little bit. I think that adds to the dynamic a little bit that we're in different time zones.
It does. Well, especially for me because I'm a morning person. I've always been a morning person. So like, it's my it's this is my expertise right now. It's the morning, and a lot of people are. I don't know. This is a good question to ask you, Mac. Are you more of a morning person or a night person?
I'm I'm very much a night person.
Okay.
I'm very much a night owl. I am not a morning person at all. So that is definitely an area where we differ. But I'll do what I got to do, like whatever. But yeah, I much prefer nighttime.
And for people that are watching this live right now, because we are live, and then these do go onto Radio on the YouTube channel. But if you're watching this live, type in the comments. Are you a morning person or are you a night person? I'd be kind of curious. I would have to say probably 80 to 70 to 80% of the people are probably night people, is what I usually
Yeah, I feel like
notice.
most people are night people. I feel like most people that I talk to are night people. I don't know what it is. Um, I don't know. I think maybe just most people have shitty sleep schedules, but I'm not sure.
So
I think
far, it's been,
maybe you just have a phenomenal sleep schedule, and I'm sure that you do. But I don't know. I think most of the people that I talk to way prefer staying up late and getting up later rather than going to bed early and getting up early.
so far, everybody said night, 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 and then there was one person that said morning.
Oh, I
So
see a few
one
mornings.
versus
There's a few mornings
oh,
going on.
there's a morning. Yeah, there's two mornings.
Okay.
Somebody said morning people are weird, but that would make sense because I'm very weird.
Shots called, bro. Are you just gonna take that? What's going on?
Yeah, I am gonna take it because being weird is actually it's a way of being creative if you use it in a positive way. I'm not like a creep. Like creepy weird is not really that good, right? Obviously.
Well, yeah, that's a whole different. That's a whole different. That's a whole different thing for sure.
Yeah, but we're not creepy weird here. We're not creepy weird. But so anyway, as I lose my voice here, today's show, I had a really good topic for discussion, and last
Cool.
week was so good, or 2 weeks ago was so good
Yep.
that I wanted to make sure that we kept a good topic. So, what I wanted to ask you, and the topic for today's show is music artists' goals.
Music artist goals. Okay, hold on. Somebody said East Coast Mac fans are insomniacs.
Interesting.
That's so funny because I do everything at night. I post at night in Pacific time. I go live at night. So yeah, that's
Well,
really funny. I just wanted to point that out because I thought that was really funny.
I think
Um,
the algorithm, if that's what it is, apparently like a certain time of day, like for me, if I post something around this time every day, it's usually better than if I post something in finish time, like later in the day, because I guess people are awake right now in the West Coast and the East Coast generally.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, obviously Finland is way smaller than the U.S. So I mean, like I would that makes total sense to me.
Yeah.
Um, you know, I don't have any experience posting stuff in any time zone that you're in, obviously,
No.
but
And
I would think
plus,
that makes sense just because I mean you've being a musician for so long, you've built up everyone watching you in the U.S. and it's a way bigger country with multiple time zones. So I would think that that makes total sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm American, right? So, and I live here in Finland, but of course I'm a U.S. citizen, and you're right. Like I do, when I look at like my, what do you call it, the analytics, like I do still notice that most of the people that listen to music that I make or whatever are from the U.S. and then it trickles into, like, I see the U.K. Finland is like
Right.
number three, because I mean, I
Yeah.
live here now, but yeah, I mean, the U.S. for me, all the way, baby, U.S. baby.
America, fuck yeah. Um,
But
yeah.
I digress. I digress. So
Yeah. Um,
music artists' goals, and I want to let you speak because I'll ramble on most likely in a minute. But
right.
really quick, music artist goals, short, medium, long term. Maybe get into those areas.
Sure. Yeah. Goals. That's a great. Let me fucking put this down. We'll get back to that at the end of the stream. We'll get back to the guitar. I need fuck. It's hard for me to have. There you go. Um, uh, goals. I mean, like I've been a musician my entire life, and I mean, like we talked about it on a previous episode. Being in bands and doing all that stuff.
Yeah.
And my goal was always like I want to be in a band and tour and make albums, and that's what I do.
Me too.
And
Me too.
That's yeah, right. That's what we all want. But the reason I say that specifically is just because like that's been my goal and that's still my goal. But I sort of carved out this little niche thing that I got going with the online stuff and doing my covers and everything, and that's been amazing. I really love really love what I'm doing, and I really appreciate all the crazy support that I've gotten for my videos and everything. But that was never really my goal, like I was never setting out to be a musician YouTuber or like a musician content creator. Like that was never that, like I kind of just got into it, like it just kind of happened. And it's great, and it's really fun, and I really enjoy it. But like my ultimate goal is to be able to make my own music and have that be what is driving my career and my ambitions and everything. I love doing the covers. Like they're a lot of fun, but at some point I really would like to get to the point where I can, like, original music is my main thing, and then if I really want to make a cover video, if the prompt is something interesting that I find funny, or I'm really motivated to make it, if I really want to make it, I can make a video like that every once in a while, but have my original music be what's like the driving force of my presence in the music world. And right now it's the opposite. Which, like I said, I'm very grateful for. Like I feel very lucky that I can post these videos and have people watching, but my ultimate goal is to, people are watching because I make original stuff. So, right now I think that would be all I have to say as far as that prompt.
That AI prompt that I gave you.
The AI. Did you swipe that from ChatGPT? What's going on?
No. So yeah,
No, God no. Fuck.
well, okay, because everything is open for you to answer any way you wanted, and that was the answer you gave, and I'm actually kind of I'm happy to hear that. Like it was a very humble response. It wasn't it, you know, because some people could say like, well, my goal is to be like Tommy Lee and have a mansion with a Starbucks inside my own house and like have, you know, all these things. And that you know, that's a way to look at it, you know, and
Yeah.
your answer is very, very nice to hear. It's very reasonable. Like my goal is that I want people to listen to music that I make. Like really, like that's an amazing, fantastic goal in my opinion. Wow, I really like that goal. That's very cool to hear. Um,
Yeah, I
now,
mean, like obviously, like that, like when you put it that way, it sounds very like duh, like obviously, but yeah, like I just mean that because of my position, because like before I was doing videos and doing social media, like I was in bands and I was playing in bands and playing original shit and doing work in the clubs and doing all that shit, selling tickets and all that bullshit that local bands deal with. Um, and no, I mean, like I was known in Sacramento, like in the area, but like I wasn't making any money. I didn't have any followers. I wasn't getting any traction, But now that I'm not playing in bands and having original music be like the focus of my music, endeavors, and now there's all these people watching because of my videos. And like I said, I do really appreciate it, and it's amazing, and I'm very grateful. And it's fun, and I'm not stopping anytime soon. But that was why I made that specifically in my situation, just because like that the goals, like my focus in my music kind of flipped when the followers and social media started happening. But that initial goal is still the same.
um, that's really interesting. I would have to say that. Well, first of all, like I said, I really like that response. I think that my goal is also very similar to yours. Um, my goal is also very similar to yours. Making music full time. Um, whether it's like I would say like 80 to 90%, I would like to be making my own music, and then I do love to do something like if I want to do a cover here and there. I think that it's a great idea. I think everybody should do that. So I do leave room like 10, 15% for doing something like that because I think it's very important for us music artists to take other music artists and be creative with what they're doing in our own way. I think it's very
Right.
important, the cover aspect. So I think and
Yeah.
personally for you, if you've been, let's just say you've been doing a lot of covers, how much value that's giving you, like as an artist. You know how much you're learning. Like whenever I learn a cover song, like I absorb it, and I'm like I become that music artist in a way. So like I'm learning. Like it's like better than having 100 guitar lessons from that artist in a way, because I'm playing in their style ish. If you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I totally get what you mean. Um, I wish I absorbed it to the point where I could like keep playing it, because when I do live streams, when I'm playing music, people are always like, "Oh, can you do fucking if Korn wrote whatever the fuck?" And I'm like, I don't like I do the video, like I figure out how to play it and record it, and then once I upload it, it's out of my mind and it's gone. Um, so that's but like if I sit down and I learn a cover, acoustically, like that's a different story. Um, but no,
Well,
I totally know what you mean.
but that's why I love having you show me songs on these live streams at the end, because I don't know how to play anybody's songs. So I love showing that I'm vulnerable. Like I look. You're trying to show me like don't. You're trying to show me the Chevelle riff. It's like it's pretty easy riff now that I know it, but I didn't know it, and I
Yeah.
didn't learn it like that second. Like it took me what 2, 3, 4 times. So
But
I'm kind of
it just takes watching somebody, and I'm the same way. Like if you watch someone play something, you're like, oh, you're just, as long as you're in the right tuning, like you just need to watch them do it, and you're fine. Like you're good.
yeah. Yeah, it's like because I don't know that I don't have a plethora of songs that I can just, everybody has like their little bag of tricks, and a lot of music artists I've noticed, like not only do they know covers, but they know covers like to the T, where like they know all the parts, like especially like Iron Maiden, like people that know Iron Maidens, like they know like all of the Iron Maiden guitar parts, and it's like I
Right.
like to show that I'm vulnerable as a musician because I don't know those. And that it's okay that if you're a music artist that you don't necessarily need to know all this stuff. And it's okay to learn, and it's okay to maybe try and try again until you figure it out. So that's why I like when you show me something and I don't know it, I'm so happy that I don't know it because I'm going to show everybody that I don't know it. And probably I'm not going to learn it right this second. It's going to take me a few times, but then eventually I will learn it, and hopefully that inspires other people to like not get frustrated and put down the guitar if they can't figure something out right away, because it's
Right.
okay. It's okay. And I think that your goal is fantastic. My goal in a lot of ways is actually my goal has been to collapse. So because I'm a Libra, let's get into it, right? I'm a Libra.
Oh God,
That's my
here we
sign.
go. Here we
I'm
go.
such a Libra. Okay, I'm not a and the thing is, I love to collaborate with people. I love to collaborate with people. So for the longest time, my goal to make original music is to make original music with other people, and
Yeah. Yeah.
it's not that's I've noticed it's very hard because let's face it, like at the end of the day, everybody is busy. Everybody has their own schedule. Everybody's busy collaborating with other people. Or most likely, most people are just working on their own music. And I look at it differently. I look at it like the chance and the opportunity to be able to collaborate with somebody for me is very important. So that's been my goal is to be able to collaborate with as many music artists as I can in a way because I don't want to only make music by myself, even though people around me tell me that I should do that. They say, Maddie, why don't you just play the drums, the guitar, the bass, sing, play keyboards, mix it, master it, record yourself doing it all, and put it up on YouTube. People will probably think that's cool, but like because I'm a Libra, I whatever reason, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do it by myself. I want other people.
See, I don't have any. I'm not very well versed in the astrology shit, so um, I have no idea. I'm basically just taking your word for it because I have no idea. Are
Well,
Libras like they want to? Why are you saying that specifically as a Libra?
so like I said, I've said this before. Like both Andy and Bam are Libras as well, and I've noticed that Libras in the music business, they like working with, is like they work like for example, Fuckface Unstoppable. We had like 15 people in our band, and Bam would
Oh,
never like do a show unless he could bring all like everybody because we want to make other people happy. That's like a Libra is like a person that is striving to be in a room that everybody's happy and until everybody in that room is happy, the Libra is not going to be happy because they're trying to obtain the goal of making sure that everybody in the room is happy,
okay, okay.
if that
I
makes
just wanted to, I
sense.
was just asking because yeah, I was just asking because I'm not really familiar with all that stuff, so that was the only reason I was asking.
Okay.
But um, no, like that's I think that's a great goal. I think that I definitely value the collaboration experience as far as music as well. I mean, like we've talked about, like I've been in several different bands, you know, and you know, writing songs with the band and then going into the studio and like recording it and then kind of like fine tuning it in the studio and everyone's there and kind of like, you know, it's you can come up with a lot of great things that you probably never would have came up with on your own because you have different ears hearing it and providing their perspective on it. So I totally get that. I think that's a great goal, and I think that's something that a lot of musicians probably would relate to because um, writing something with somebody and feeling that adrenaline rush of like, oh wow, we work so great together, like that experience is amazing. Like it's really cool when you are working on something with somebody and you're just bouncing back and forth so easily and it's like flawless and it just works and you're both down with it. It's a great feeling. It's really cool. I love it when that sort of thing happens.
Yeah,
so I totally get that. I think that's a great goal.
it's a great goal, but as somebody that's been doing this, that's been trying to obtain that goal for years and years and years, I will say that, you know, that goal is filled with a lot of people, and I say this expression at home, and my family is getting mad because the expression goes like, "Let's go," right? And whenever somebody says that, first thing I say is like, where are we going? Are we going somewhere? What do you mean?
That's really funny because my family says the exact same thing. That's really funny.
I can't say that. So what I mean by that is like whenever for the most part, like 80% of my collaboration reach outs the response is like, yeah, let's go, let's do this. And then it's like radio silence.
Yeah.
So what I've
people
noticed is like a lot of people, like they'll say like, yeah, I want to do it. But then they won't, like they'll just be quiet or they'll just say, yeah, but I don't have time. And then like, you know, I'm kind of persistent. Like for example, I don't want to like, I will say an example because it's somebody that I've known for a long time. There's a gentleman by the name of Matt, and he's in a band called 616, and I've known him for a long time, and he's always doing live streams, like always, like multiple live streams a day. If anybody wants to follow Matt, Matt Ludwig. He's really nice kid, nice dude, and I've done a song with him at Chad's studio back in the day. We did a song called Lust and Blood. I digress. He goes online, and I was watching him, and I was commenting, and he was like, oh, Matty J, like, you know, it's good to see you. Like we and then he's telling all of his fans, like, hey, you know, me and Matty did a song. So I'm like, hey, dude, let's do a collaboration. This was like a month ago. And he's like, let's go, right? And he's like, yeah, let's do it. And then, so I'm like, cool, I'll send you a DM. So I sent him a really good DM, like explaining what I want to do, and a very detailed DM, very professional, actually. And for somebody who knows me, I didn't, you know, it's nice that I did that. But then it's like, there's no reply. So now when he goes on live streams, I go on live streams, and I'm like, hey, what's up? You know, like, how's it going? And like, we should do a collab. And then he's like, he says the same thing. He's like, oh, Matty J, it's great to see you. Like, we did this song together. And then like he's like, I hope that he eventually is going to come around and wants to do something. But at this point, it's like almost funny to me because I know like that so far all that's happened is he says, yeah, but then like nothing's going to happen from that. And
I mean,
it's a pet peeve of mine because like if you want to do a collaboration with me and you say it, then why don't you just say like, no, like I can't, I don't have time, or I'm not interested to do that right now. Why say yeah?
Sure. Yeah. No,
and then
I understand.
just lead me on. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I'm not mad at Matt. Like I said, Matt's a cool guy. I'm friends with him. I'm using this as an example because I don't think he would be mad at me for that. But this isn't just with Matt. Like, this is multiple artists that this goes on about.
Yeah.
And so, like, as the artist that's reaching out, like, you have to understand. Somebody said that I'm flamboyant in the chats. Well, okay, whatever. You know, the thing is, we're artists and we're sensitive.
Little aside.
Music artists are sensitive creatures, right? Because that's what we do. We make art. We make art from like emotions, right? I'm not in an emo band, but hey, I mean, I could be, right? So when I reach out to somebody, it's like an emotional, like I'm putting myself out there on the line. Like I'm saying, hey, I'm willing to be like emotional and write something with you if you're willing to do that with me. Do you want to do it? So like, I would expect that somebody would be like yes or no, but if they're going to say yes or no, they're actually going to mean yes or no. They're not going to.
Yeah. No, like I got you. Like, I mean, I've dealt with the same thing before. You know, I feel like since we value music so much, and you know, we're musicians, and we value that mindset and that camaraderie of like collaboration so much. Being a musician, like, it's really easy to, you know, think that, well, it's music and you're a musician, so you're going to be super straight up about it. But I think it just kind of, you know, with anything in life, if you want to, it could be something really simple, like, you want to like help me move today, you know, oh man,
Let's go.
let's fucking go. Or yeah, you want to help me move on, you know, Saturday? Oh, for sure, dude. Absolutely. And then Saturday rolls around and you're like, hey man, so yeah, we got the truck, you know, let's go. And then they're like, oh shit. Oh man, I forgot. I got that thing and I can't, you know.
Yeah.
I think, you know, I think music, and I'm not saying that you don't know this. I'm just, you know, giving you my take, but I think that being a musician and being in that space, maybe you take it a lot more harshly than you would with anything else, because it's something that you really care about. Like, obviously moving is not something that you care about that much. It's like, whatever, I'll fucking do it myself. But if it's music, it hurts a lot more, because like, it's like, this is my fucking life. Like, this is what I do. So I can understand what you're saying. I think that makes a lot of sense. And I think that as long as you're casting, you know, if you're casting your web out there and you're reaching out to people that you know, I'm not saying you specifically, but just anybody that, you know, is trying to collab with people. It's like, if you're going for people that you really love their talent and you appreciate their talent, and that's your driving force of hitting them up, like, let's do something. Like, as long as you follow that instinct, I think some people are going to take it seriously. Some people are going to be like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, for sure, let's go. And then some people are going to be like, you know, straight up, like, as long as you follow that instinct, I think eventually you'll find somebody that will say, okay, how about Tuesday? And then you're like, great, and then you do it, and it works out great. You know, like, that's been my experience. It's like, as long as you're following that that mentality that you were talking about, I think it's I think that's what you should do. That's my take.
Well, you know, like I said, these are things that are like real life situations, but the comments are interesting. There's Dan.
Oh, hey, what's up, Darren? What's up, dude?
Davey says that he could have gotten a $350 custom cattle hat to establish his thing, but personally, he bought whatever was at Walmart. But actually, this hat is my missus, and I don't think she bought it at Walmart. But it's okay if you thought I bought it at Walmart. And Darren said, Maddie, don't
Darren's like, you didn't acknowledge the asshole comment.
Yeah.
He acknowledged one specific one.
I did now because I saw Darren made that, so I was like, oh, I guess people are. But you know, like so a wise person said to me the other day that sometimes a little drama creates more views and brings exposure. So, you know, hopefully whatever I just was talking about, my buddy Matt, isn't going to necessarily bring drama, because that wasn't my intention. Like I said, my intention is to acknowledge the fact that I do reach out to every artist. If you're watching this, you know who you are. I reach out to everybody, like everybody. Now, Mac, you know, I reached out to you, and I have to respect Mac because he said he was busy, right? You actually told me, like, you know, I would love to do something with you, but I don't have time right now. That's, for me, that's awesome, because I'm like, okay, whew, now I don't have to sit and wait and hope that, you know, we're going to do this.
Yeah, no, yeah, dude. Like, I get it. Like, you know, I've been the person that's done that many times, where I'm like, for sure, and then and then nothing happens. You know, like, I get it, man. Like, I totally get it.
But for me, like, but for me, it's tough because I generally reach out to people because I really want to. So when somebody gives me like a little nugget of hope, what ends up happening to me is that I take that and it lives with me, and like I don't go through the day without like having that thought, and it really like it kind of like brings me. It kind of sets me back in a way because I'm always thinking about still doing something with somebody. So it really affects me in a negative way when somebody kind of just says yeah because they don't understand how serious I am. And I understand because most people that maybe ask about doing collaborations, they'll almost be the same way. They'll be like, "Yo, do you want to do a collaboration?" But really in the back of their mind they're like, maybe I want to or not, but I'm just trying to be nice and ask.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm not.
Right.
I'm actually like
Right.
being genuine. So
Right. Like that's why I was saying like it's I think people are just like that in general with everything. Like they want to avoid if they really like don't want to or they can't, like it's really hard for people to just say that, and it's a lot easier to just say like, oh yeah, sure, and then they just don't.
well, what I'm here to say, is that if you're, what people should do is just be honest and say like, no, I don't want to, or no, I don't have time, because there is a chance that the person asking you is actually serious, and in the future, like it's good because I've had people ask me to do certain things, and I usually say yeah, but sometimes I say no, and I also feel the same way. Like, I don't want to hurt people's feelings, but at the same time, I want them to know that, like, but don't expect me to be doing this because I'm not going to do it, and I don't want to ruin their day or whatever. But anyway, I don't know. It's a very touchy subject. We're off a subject, but I just felt that it was important to say because my goal is to collaborate with artists, and like this is what kind of prohibits me to do that sometimes because of dealing with so many music artists.
No, yeah, absolutely, yeah. No, I totally understand why you brought it up. Something that's about that whole thing with collaboration that's really funny because I was just talking about this on TikTok Live before I started here, but
Okay.
I get so many people that will hit me up like, hey, do you want to collab? And then I go to their page and I'm like, for sure. And I mean, I don't reply, but I go to their page to see like, okay, what do you got? And then they have no videos and nothing that they're doing. There's no link to any content or videos or anything. And I'm just, I swear to God, I get them all the time. And I'm just like, why the fuck would I collab with you if you don't post anything? Like, what? Like, I don't care how many followers you have. Like, if I think you're sick, then you're sick, Like, I have a collab coming out pretty soon that I'm working on with some guys that I think are fucking sick, and, like, that's what's driving it, It's like, I get them all the time, dude. Oh, yeah, let's collab. And then I go to their page, and there's literally nothing. Like, why would I be like, for sure, let's collab, let's talk sometime, if I don't even know what you're doing? Like, what?
Well,
It's
again,
probably just like an internet thing, but I just think it's really funny.
Again, it's like stereotypes and assumptions. Like I guess I rely on those probably like 10 or 20% of the time because I think everybody at the end of the day, I don't think anybody can say like I don't stereotype and I don't assume because I think we all do. I think we all have some piece of that, but I try to keep that to a minimum. But what I would have to say is that if a lot of people are asking you for collaborations and they might not have a big following, my assumption or my stereotype to those people, and again, this is a small piece that I think, is that, well, they probably want to do something with you because you do have a lot of views and a lot of attention. And
Right,
they might want to take some of that, again,
right, and that's
stereotype and
fine.
assumption.
Like, that's totally fine. Like,
Yeah.
that's totally fine. Like, I don't,
Yeah.
I understand that. Like, you want to work with people that have a bigger following than you do. I totally understand that. But it's just really funny when people ask that and they don't have any videos or any content. It's like,
Well,
what am I going to base my decision whether or not to collab with you off of if I can't see anything that you make, or if you do make anything at all?
right.
Like it's just,
Well, that makes sense for you.
That in itself, like, I totally understand that. Like, I mean, I'm the same way. Like, I'm talking to people that, like, have bigger followings than I do, and I'm like, oh yeah, let's fucking do something, or they've reached out to me. Like, I totally understand that. But it's just,
I've had this discussion. I've had this discussion with Andy, and I told him, because an ex-associate of mine said something along the lines like, "Oh, Matty's only playing with Andy to stay relevant," and I don't want to say who, because that'll start a huge shitstorm. But I told this to Andy, and Andy was like, "Well, Matthew, like, of course you're going to do whatever you can to work with artists that are bigger with you, because isn't that the goal that we all are trying to achieve? We're trying to get exposure for ourselves so we can, project our individualities and our art. So it is okay. It is okay to want to work with somebody because they have more following, and that you can get some of the following. That's totally fine. I agree.
I think that entire thing plays in, and I've been hearing this and, telling other people this throughout my entire music career, is like, don't be the most talented person in the room. And I think that phrase basically sums that up perfectly.
That's a really good, I really like that. Because I see it, I hear that, and I'm like, wow. Like, think about it. If you are the most successful, most well-known artist in a room of artists, the pressure is on, baby. Like, oh my God.
Like, the pressure's on, and there's, like, and you have this feeling of like, okay, I'm here to, like, everyone's stoked to work with me, and it's like, you don't want to be in that position. You want to be the person that's like, I want to fucking work with that guy, and whether it's like notoriety or talent, or whatever it is. But like, if you're the person that's like, everyone's here because of me, and everyone wants to work with me, and like, you don't want to be that guy. You want to be the guy that's trying to get to that, like, because that's what drives you to keep going. That's what drives you to get better and to improve what you're doing.
For sure. But at the end of the day, when we talk about goals, I think that's our own personal goals are important to us, and I do think that they change. Like, for example, right now, a short-term goal for me is that I want to create a mailing list, which is something I've never done. That's pretty
okay.
Yeah, I want to have a mailing list. So actually, I don't know if you have one, Mac, or not.
I do not have. I don't have shit. I have here, and I have YouTube and like social media and Spotify, and like, that's it, dude. That's all I fucking got.
Okay, well, here, listen to this. Maybe you can, and maybe if anybody watching can tell me if this is a good idea or not. But so what I've been realizing is that over the years of playing music, I realized that I love to make music. I do it because I love to do it. I love making music for all the bands that I play with. I don't want to name them all right now, but I love doing it. But what I also realize is that Spotify and Apple iTunes and record labels, they love to make music. They love to make money from my music, right? They love
that part of it. They love the money part, for sure.
They love making money, not just from my music, but from like everybody else.
They're super passionate about the money part.
So what I'm thinking is like, well, since I always make music because I love it, and I generally notice that whoever's making money from it generally isn't me. So I don't make music for money. I'm like, well, why don't I give fans of mine the opportunity to have my music directly from me? And if they want to help me out in some sort of way, I'll figure out a way for them to do that. Almost like a Patreon, I guess, or something. I'm older, so I've never had a Patreon, but something like that. So I'm like, maybe I should create a mailing list, and offer some of the music that I've been working on recently, because I have my studio now, for free for people directly. And then in exchange that they'll they'll join my mailing list. So in the future, I can offer them music that I make because I love, instead of giving it to the record labels or the streaming services right away. I can offer it to my real fans right away. What do you think about that? Is that a good idea?
I think that, like, being as communicative as you can with people that care about what you're doing, like whatever method you're taking, I think is a really good thing to do. You know, there's no harm in doing that. Like, I think that's a great thing to do. Like, if people, like, if I put out a newsletter or anything like that, and anyone gave a shit enough to actually, like, open it every time I sent it out, like, that's amazing. Like, that's awesome that you care that much. You know, like, it's whatever you can do to connect with people that care about what you're doing. Like, you know, I think that's great. Fuck. What was I gonna say? You said something before and I forgot what it was. I was gonna talk about that too.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, the only reason I'm saying that is because
same music. I was gonna say something else and I forgot it. God damn it. Oh wait, shit. Somebody said. Wait, hold on. Someone said, Mac, you're going to be at NAMM 2025. I will be there. Yes, I will be there.
I would love to go to
Are you going to be there? Are you going to be there, Matty?
I worked for Ibanez and Tama for 11 years, and I used to help build
their
NAMM displays. But I never ended up going, because we were in Philadelphia, so I never ended up going with them. And I ended my career before I was able to. But I've always wanted to go to NAMM, to be honest.
Dude, fucking that's crazy. That's crazy that you never got. I've only been once. I went this past year. But, dude, you should go. You and Darren and Thomas, you guys should all fucking go. That'd be awesome.
It would be amazing. It would be amazing, because I would love to see... Man, don't even get me started, because now, like, I'm so into, like, I've actually been into some techie things, like, because I got my studio set up, so now I'm, like, checking out all these cool plugins.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sure, yeah, we could go on and on.
Oh, my God.
That shit, for sure.
Oh, my God. I'm just thinking, like, I'm like, wow, like, you know what, and in a way, I'm glad that I'm getting into it now. I'm sorry to go off topic, but...
Oh, no, I started it. You're good. I went off topic first.
Yeah, because of NAMM. Because I was having this conversation with Thomas, because another I don't want to say who, another ex-associate of mine has been using these vocal pedals live at some of the shows, and they happen to be my personal vocal pedals, so maybe that gave away too much, but I digress. For the longest time, I used to be endorsed by a vocal pedal company, but that was like a long time ago, so I haven't been using those. And as a matter of fact, this is what I've been using. I use this.
You're still missing that fucking D string, bro. You're still missing that fucking D string.
Yeah. Well, one day when I make enough money, I will buy a new pack of strings. Like,
one day.
No, I'm serious. That's why I'm creating a mailing list, because because if I create a mailing list, then I can. But anyway, I digress. But that is true. That is true about the mailing list. But the thing is, I haven't been using vocal things and all these apps and stuff, because I've been playing this and I've been singing.
Right.
And because of that, I feel like I've learned my voice without any effects. Now, taking that...
That's a good way to look at it, actually.
Well, now...
That's a really good way to look at it.
For some people, it happens much faster. Like, yeah, most music artists, like, are just naturally awesome at doing everything, and for me, I had to, like, work hard. I had to work hard to do it. So it took me, like, 20 years to be able to try to sing on my own, but I finally did, and I'm finally happy with the way that I sound when I sing, which is very important, because when you're insecure about your own voice, you don't really want to sing much, which is true.
Right.
So anyway, because I haven't been relying on the old things that I was endorsed by, vocal pedals, I've been doing this and performing at, like, open mics and doing all these things on my own.
That's awesome.
And I learned how to sing. so now that I'm back in the studio and I'm like going through all these, I'm like, ooh, like there's so many cool vocal things that I'm like thinking like, you know what, like now I could use those and I could just achieve exactly what I want because I can already sing, but now I could just use this to enhance what I want to do instead of relying on it. So I'm interested in all
Right.
these, not just vocal ones. Like I have Isotope. I just got Isotope 4 because it was free until July 8th. And it's like this plugin that
Yeah.
runs on AI and it
Yeah.
gives you like a good, yeah, I'm loving it. I'm loving it, dude.
I've I've downloaded so many plugins because I keep checking their shit and I'm like, oh, it's free right
Yeah,
now, or it's like
free.
50% off, or fuck, like probably 90% of my plugins were from sales because I was like, I really don't want to pay $120 for this little software for this very specific thing that I need to do with my music. So I'm so stoked that it's like, 25% off or whatever the fuck. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome. But that's great though. That's great that you've been doing open mics and stuff and doing that raw sort of setting, because I've been wanting to do that too. I know a lot of people have been asking me to, a lot of people have been asking like, are you playing live and stuff? And I'm not, like, I'm just doing online shit right now. But I've been hitting up clubs around in like Southern California and trying to get a show down here to do like a little acoustic set. So
You, you know,
I've been wanting
you
to start
should.
doing the same thing. And like, when I was in Sacramento, like I knew everybody in Sacramento, so it was super easy. Like, I hit somebody up and like I get
Yeah.
a show like that. But down here, I don't really know anybody. Like I moved down here and it's a lot harder to get a show down here. And that's probably a great topic for another episode. Like
Yeah, it will be.
getting
It will
shows and
be.
everything. That's a great
It
topic for
will
that,
be. Because
that's a whole different
because
rabbit hole.
for sure. For sure. I mean, whenever I am able to do like a troubadour gig, sometimes people pay me like a few $100 to come out and just be myself and play guitar. It's like one of the hardest things. Like open mic nights, obviously I do for free, but you can only go up and do like 2 or 3 songs. It's almost like karaoke, but you're playing guitar. Open mics.
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah,
They're
yeah,
fun.
yeah.
I used to do those back in the day with the band called Army of the Forks, which was Chad Ginsberg, myself, Ron Stango, Steve Hegley, my brother. And we used to go to these open mic nights and we called ourselves Army of the Forks. And we would show up to these open mic nights and like just do crazy experimental music, but then take it to the max where like I remember one show my brother was holding Ron Stango naked upside down and like the bouncers like literally threw us out. The
I
meme of like a
wonder
bouncer
why.
throwing you out. Yeah. And yeah, but playing now as acoustic guitar at an open mic night with 30 people, 50 people probably or less sometimes is like one of
Right,
the hardest
right.
things ever because first of all, everybody's watching you when you first start. They're all watching you and it's super quiet when you first start. So it's like,
Yeah,
oh,
everyone's in there hanging out, drinking, doing
yeah,
whatever, and then they're like, okay, who's this asshole that's about to start saying?
yeah. So like the pressure's on,
Dude, that
but then it
sucks.
gets
That
even
shit
better.
sucks ass, bro.
But wait, there's more because then once you do start and like let's say you have you're doing something cool, then it turns into like nobody gives a crap what you're doing because they're back to their conversation. So then you're like playing and you're like, oh man, like this is cool. And like
Right.
everybody's looking at me like this sucks even more. Like I wish they were looking at me and now nobody cares that I'm playing. So it's so fun to do those.
Yeah, it is fun, but it does, like, there's definitely a huge difference between like you're playing in a band and you're playing at a venue and like you're on the flyer and people are there to see you, or they're there to see the headliner and your opening or whatever. And people are just there to see bands and they're like, yeah, let's fucking rock out to some music. There's a difference between that and like you go into a fucking bar or a coffee shop or something and people are like, oh, there's a guy here. Oh, cool. Play something. And then in the first like 5-10 seconds, they're not down and they're like, okay. And they go back to their conversation. Yeah, that shit. It's equally fulfilling to play both, I would say, just because I just love performing in front of people. But the vibe is definitely a lot different.
Yeah. But anyway, I don't want to keep you too much longer. But I think again, going back to subject of goals, I really admire your goals. I think you had a great response. I'm super happy to hear that, because again, some people like to think about goals as something, like getting a new Lambo because they have a new hit song, which I think, is cool and all, but like I like the fact that you have like more realistic goals. That's super cool. And I totally can relate to that. I think that's great.
Well, thanks. Yeah, that's I really like having these conversations just because I mean I've been doing this a long time, but you've been doing a long time too. But you've done different things than I've done. Like I've been in local bands and I've done that, but you've done a lot of things in your career that I've never done, and I think that we're both both of our lives are music, and like that's what we live to do.
Hey, that's why we
I think that it's
that's why we should do a collab, Mac. Come on, let's do
right.
it.
That goes back, right. And we bring it home. There we go. There it is.
Yeah,
but
we will. But what I will say is that doing something that I've been doing for a while too is live streams, and I feel like, because today in the comments there's been a lot of interesting comments, and what I will say is that it's really hard. It's really hard to navigate live streams because because sometimes you just want to say things, and then if you are new at doing live streams, you'll say things that people are going to hold you to, and they're going to screenshot and record it and share it. But
Sure.
because I've done literally over 1,000 of them or more in the past year or two, I know what I'm doing. So like when I say things, I'm not regretting what I'm saying. But what I will say is that tomorrow I might have different views. And these live streams are for entertainment purposes only. Of course, I'm saying
right.
facts. But
Entertainment
tomorrow I
purposes
might feel
only.
differently,
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
it's okay for us to pivot. When we're doing live streams, everybody has to understand, like, we are trying to be genuine and honest on our live streams, but at the same time, tomorrow is another day. So we might have different points of views tomorrow, which is why I like to do live streams all the time, because I do change my views. And
Yeah.
maybe
I mean, like
Matt,
you might be restringing that guitar tomorrow. Who knows? Like,
I had to get that mailing list, I think, because I'm trying to figure out ways how to make money in the music business.
first I gotta get my my royalties for. First, I gotta get my next check for anything music related. Please give me something.
I got it.
So I can restring this fucking guitar.
Yeah, because it's like I've said to Courtney on our show, like I might work like a month and make $2,000, let's say, and then I might work 3 years and make $1, but in music. But that dollar to me is worth so much more than the $2,000 because I did it doing something I love. So those are the things. It's very difficult.
I can totally understand that for sure. Darren wants a riff, dude. Darren wants a riff.
Hey, can you show me a riff?
Oh fuck!
Can you show me
shit
something before we go? Because we always like Mac is my guitar teacher, and he likes to show me how to play a song at the end of every thing.
Oh yeah, there's this crazy riff. I don't think you've ever heard of it.
Well, what? Don't put me on the spot with that, because if
you also need the D string for that one.
Oh yeah, so I can't do that with that. Come on, show me. Oh yeah, I know that one, but okay.
Don't put me on the spot. But also, I need a D string, so I can't do that.
What about like a riff? What about a song that I can play because I don't have a string?
Okay, yeah, I'm trying to. Fuck. Probably something drop tuning. Fuck. Shit. Now you're putting me on the spot.
That's okay.
It's all right. We'll
Oh, how about this one? Yeah, okay. I'm going to learn it right now. Hold on.
wait. Wait, what song is that?
Yeah.
Is that fucking White Snake?
No, it's like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
Oh, gotta let the light shine, happiness and light shine now. Oh, that's what that
do you know
is,
it?
right?
Do you know it?
I think so.
Try it.
Or,
It's open tuning, so it's drop D.
yeah. Oh, feeling like the night shine now. Oh, feeling the light shine now.
Yeah.
I don't know the fucking verse at all.
Yeah. That's a fun song to play on the guitar though, because it's it's kind of like "Come as You Are," or no, it's kind of like "All Apologies" by Nirvana. That's another one where they use the open tunings. But this one's
Oh
cool.
yeah.
But anyway, yeah, that was me trying to show you a song today, which is opposite of what normally happens.
Well, yeah, dude. I had a great time. It was a really fun stream.
Yeah, me too. And it was great to see everybody. It was great to see Darren was in the chats today. That's cool. Maybe we'll have to do one with Darren soon. That'd be fun.
Yeah, Darren, you should pop onto a stream, bro. We can vibe, dude. Pop onto a stream soon.
Yeah. But hey, with that being said, let's do this again, same time next week. And welcome to the MacMatty show. For anything you want to say before we go? You got any stuff coming up with your streams?
Yeah. Thank you all for watching and hanging out. Means a lot. We'll see you guys next time.
Very good. Bye-bye. Rock and roll.